This is John Mack from Vantage Point, and coming up next we're going to have a little look at all the comments from the boxers and a few from the MMA side, just to see how much of one-sided old boxing viewpoint bullshit it is.
A kid from Dublin with more than a dream. He knew one day he'd be the king of the UFC. Oh, with a group of fighting Irish not to be pushed over, not here to take part. They were here to take over. And from the start, John Kavanagh by his side. Whoever thought they'd be known worldwide after 60 G's, baby, and a contract to sign, leaving his whole life and the social welfare behind. And after 2 years, being the featherweight champion of the world. And Conor said he'd make him look like a little girl. It only took 10 seconds to show his talk wasn't cheap, as he connected with the left and put Aldo to sleep. There's only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, 'cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, 'cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. The lightweight belt was next in store to do what no other fighter had ever done before. Became the first same-time double champ in history, and took the chance to apologise to absolutely nobody. It came from working on a building site to get $1 million paychecks from Dana White, and it was money, his cars and his clothes he flaunts, 'cause the double champ does what he wants. And Mayweather, you're old and you're small, and the truth is that you'll do feck all.
Okay, first up we have Captain America Randy Couture talking to Colin Coward about the Conor and Floyd fight. Let's go.
Got too snarky. Okay, so let's first of all, I'm going to show the video, Randy, and you just tell me what you make of it, because this is what you do for a living. Because you let's roll the tape. Dana White puts it out. This is, what are you seeing?
Well, I definitely see two guys sparring. I'm kind of questioning why there's an official referee.
Well, there's an official there, Randy, because everybody was saying that Conor's going to do something illegal. So I don't know how more professional it can get than getting a bloody referee in there, and a well-respected referee. So that's why there's a referee in there, Randy.
Even in his uniform there, that's not a normal thing for sparring work.
Sparring is usually two guys.
Actually, it would be more than two guys. He would have a number of sparring partners that would rotate in normal.
No, he got Paulie in to beat his ass. That's the only reason Paulie was there. He wasn't going to get another guy in. He was there to beat on his ass for 12 rounds. That's why Paulie was there. He wasn't there to spar. He was there to get his ass beat.
Circumstance.
So what's the job of a sparring partner?
To get his ass beat.
To give you a look, present what your opponent may bring to this fight, and try to mimic that as much as you can.
Okay, so you're not...
No, that's not why Paulie was there. Again, Paulie was there to get ass whooping, boy. Like when you're my boy, not boy, racist boy.
not bringing your game.
You're not there to fight. You're not there to prove you can beat.
Oh, you're not there to fight. Let's see. I remember stories about when you guys were training back in the day, Randy. And they said the fights were better than what they had in the ring. And you used to call them spar wars. Or, let me just think. No, not spar wars. Gym wars. And everybody talks about it. Flippin' Charles Sunday talks about it. How he would have loved to have a camera in there, because there were better fights in there than you had in the UFC. So please, stop, Randy.
This guy, or you can compete with this guy. That's not what it's about. You're either volunteering or being paid to come and
get your ass whipped.
Give this guy a look. Give him rounds. Give him solid work, and mimic the guy he's fighting.
So you get paid probably okay to do that, because can it be you've never obviously been the sparring partner. You've been the champion. But for a sparring partner, it feels like Paulie Malignaggi was offended because Paulie's a real fighter and he's prideful, and they released video of him getting knocked out, and he's saying, hey, time out.
Paulie was offended because he looks so shit on camera, you know. They used,
Here. I'm just a sparring partner. This isn't... Is that what's happening here?
This reeks of a publicity stunt to me.
No, not a publicity stunt. An ass whipping stunt.
Normally, you don't have an official referee there, kind of presiding over a sparring match.
Okay.
Normally, you would have 2 or 3 other partners there that would rotate in on rounds and give each other breaks because it's tough.
Why would he? Let's see how much of a chance Randy gives old Connor. Let's see what he thinks.
I give Connor a 1 in 10 chance of winning this fight.
That's not
10%, not bad. That's what Colin said as well, didn't you, old Colin?
that's not terrible. You think he can knock him out?
He's unorthodox. He's a southpaw. He's not going to throw things that Floyd's used to seeing. He's younger and he's a little bigger.
He looks thicker.
Those are all positives for Connor.
He looks thicker.
But at the end of the day, he's still competing against, in a pure boxing match, one of, pound for pound, the best technical fighters, defensive fighters that we've seen in a long.
Yeah, we'll see how he runs, won't we? And next, in the Conor McGregor corner, the man called the biggest McGregor dick rider in history, Brendan, the Big Brown Schaub.
Not MMA versus boxing, but if your team Connor is these X factors of Floyd's had 2 years off, right? He's had 2 years off. But in the past, he's taken time off and he comes back better. But
Oh yeah, he came much better against Pacquiao. Much better.
But he is 40. So 40, that has to be something, you know? Yeah. And the other thing, why is he doing it? Is he doing it for money? He's doing it for attention? Why is he coming back to...
Well, at least Mayweather said he's doing it for the money. Nobody can say he's a liar, can they?
Get to 50. And then the 8-ounce gloves, which they officially approved today. 8-ounce gloves is a huge, huge advance for Connor, I think, man.
It's all in.
The fuck out.
Not MMA versus...
Okay, second clip from Brendan Schaub and Joe Rogan.
Volley's such a big deal because people go, oh shit, no, he can actually box. And I even think Dane and the Fertitas who were there watching go, we actually got something here. And that's why it was such a big deal. Because I think everyone's like, all right, Connor, MMA, he's good. I've seen him move around. I'm telling you, this dude, as far as boxing, he's going to give guys some problems. Is he going to give the best all-time problems? Who knows?
What kind of training had Paulie been doing before that fight? Like, what kind of shape was he in?
Yeah, not in 12-round shape. You know, Paulie just got off the plane.
Why did he do 12 rounds? Why did he
That's
agree
what
to
they
do
asked
12
him
rounds?
to.
Right, but had he been training?
He got word from Connor's team that they're going to use him, so he started to train some, but not like it's not like he was getting ready for a fight, you know. So that's what he said. He goes, man, you know.
First off, he knew Connor was going to whip his ass. That's why he came in there. And if he didn't know that, he soon realized after the first few rounds that, oh shit, I think Connor's serious here. You know, I know you've got to present with old Paulie, but don't try and be amicable. Just tell the truth, Sharpie.
For me to go 12 rounds was tough. Like, I wasn't expecting to go all 12 rounds. Because the first day they used him, I think he said he only did 6 or 8 rounds. And then he was like, oh, we're going to spar tomorrow more and I'll get in better shape, stuff like that, get used to the fighting shape. And then they didn't use him. Then he flew to cover the Mikey Garcia Broner fight and then came back and he was fresh off the plane and then he sparred 12 rounds. So he's like, they just did me dirty, man. That's his whole thing. His feelings are hurt. He's like, why would they do that, man? I was here to help him.
Well, they did that. That's the kind of help they wanted. They just wanted kind of help that he didn't want to give. They wanted the kind of help where Connor beats the fuck out of a world champion.
Correct. And
yeah, he came to beat the fuck out of a world champion. And Paulie must have, I don't know. Maybe he got flipping. Maybe he had some brain trauma after the first few rounds and he just flipping went on autopilot.
that's what Connor said, though.
Yeah.
Like, in Connor's defense, when they
Maybe he had a concussion, you know. Sometimes you go on autopilot.
go, oh, you're bringing Paulie in. He goes, yeah, I'm bringing. He says on Showtime during the media scrum. He goes, yeah, I'm bringing him in to fuck him up. And I think Paulie thought, oh,
He said that?
Yeah. He goes, he goes, yeah, I'm gonna bring him in and fuck him up. Word for word. Yeah, that's on document. Yeah, it's documented. So then Paulie gets in and goes, oh, we'll spar and be all good. But remember, 6 months prior to this, Paulie goes, I could beat Connor with one hand tied behind my back.
How could you? Didn't look like that in the sparring footage.
Connor's like a baby elephant. He stores that and was like, all right, man.
Oh, he said that?
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Yeah, and he's gonna dig a grave for him in the elephant graveyard. I think that's where Paulie's going.
But he thought it was just hyping the fight. You know, he thought
Right.
they'd spar and be like boys, but it just didn't happen. Like Conor was literally there just to prove a point.
Well, it's a
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, I can beat him behind my back, and then we're gonna be best friends.
very important point to prove before a giant fight like that. Like that video alone is probably worth who knows how many thousands of hundreds of thousands of buys on
Priceless.
pay-per-view.
Priceless.
That's worth so much money. I mean, how many more people? A lot of people were going to buy the fight anyway, but how many more people are going to buy the fight now that you see Conor landing that straight left and then dropping Paulie? And Paulie said it's a push down, and you could see that it's not a push down. I mean, it's just not. If you get pushed down like that, you're probably concussed already.
Yeah, if your balance is off, I see what you're
That's
saying.
so bad. Like
I bounce fucking heads of canvases.
he was saying something about him getting grabbed on the back of the head. You could watch it. Watch the knockdown. Pull
Paulie's
it
just
up.
saying. Paulie's saying it's dirty, and he
I get that.
I get that, but
you signed up
it's
for
a
it.
fight. But the other thing is, Paulie's saying, you know, and he goes, take what you want from the video. He goes, but I think Conor and his team and Dana fucked up putting this out because now Floyd Mayweather's team knows this is how he fights. Like this is the dirty
That's
stuff
why
he
he
does, so
had
they
it
can
in
warn
there.
the
There's
ref.
nothing dirty there.
The grab behind the
holding,
head's dirty.
hitting.
That in boxing, that's dirty. You can get away with it, but that's
Yeah.
frowned upon.
It's gonna happen.
Those rabbit punches, but
The
Floyd's
punch.
going to do that.
See this part right here. Give me some volume on that so you can hear that. He's hitting him hard, man.
Hurt. In the buttocks.
Okay, you know, he hits him with a straight left that's clean, and then it looks like he's wobbled and he hits him with a right hand afterwards.
Told you he's concussed, Rogan. He can't remember shit. Same as when you interviewed the old what's his face. He said, I'm not interviewing any more flippin' fighters that get knocked out. That's why Paulie's all confused.
Like, play that part one more time when he goes down. Like, you can't, I don't see an argument. I've tried to look at it.
Oh, a push down?
I don't see it. I don't see it. This is the beginning part.
And that's a legit ref, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Cortez.
Super legit. Oh,
Looks like a beatdown to me, people. I don't know. Must have used CGI. You know? It's all fake. Fake news. CGI, motherfucker.
Dude, he's beating the shit out of him. Okay, I don't give a fuck
Look, I
what
mean,
anybody
come
says.
on.
Like, if he can land those combinations on Paulie Malignaggi like that at any point in life, that is...
Homeboy
that
can
is
box.
yeah, man, he's hitting hard, too.
To me, that validates Conor. But at the same time, in Paulie's defense, you know,
You're not here to defend Paulie, like I said. Don't try and be amicable. You're not here to defend him. He got the shit, baby.
9-12 round fight shape. He's
get all of
exhausted.
that. I get all that.
But still,
Born here, I call a spade a spade.
Next up is that genius Max Kellerman. Yeah, he's not one-sided at all. Let's see what he says.
Wondering is, can Conor catch him?
Okay,
That's it.
let me just clear some stuff up for people who may
Please.
be wondering. The answer is Conor has a 0% chance to catch Floyd Mayweather.
0%, eh? Why are you betting? You numbskulls. Why are you betting on this fight? 0%. Max Kellerman. Come on, really? You want to lose your money? 0.
If Conor McGregor is the greatest natural boxer who ever lived by far, forget Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali, let's just assume it's Conor McGregor. He has a 0% chance to catch Floyd Mayweather. This is his professional boxing debut. He's fighting the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world when last seen in action, and one of the greatest pure boxers of all time. The lack of respect for the discipline is astonishing to me. People just think they're getting in and just wildly throwing punches.
No, the lack of respect for Conor is astonishing. 0%. That shows a lot of respect there.
Floyd's been doing this since he was a baby. Conor McGregor's wanted first professional fight. You're going to beat Floyd Mayweather? It's absurd. Now let me explain about the knockout, people.
Please explain.
The reason that my good friend Dana White is incorrect about this. Well, Conor McGregor takes a good punch. He has a good chin, in other words. You know who has a good chin? Fighters who don't get hit on the chin. Those are the ones who have a good chin. Floyd Mayweather will be able to hit Conor McGregor wherever he pleases, as much as he pleases, as soon as the opening bell rings.
Max,
Conor McGregor has no chance to go the distance. Floyd Mayweather.
blasting that guy.
And now the immortal Nate Diaz. Let's see what old Nate's got to say.
Mayweather.
Blasting that guy. I'll beat that guy's ass too. And
You
Connor
get
should beat that guy's ass. That guy was on the internet talking shit on him the other day. I'm like, what kind of sparring partners you got? I'll show up to that guy at the gym and beat his ass if I was Connor. I mean, like,
Don't worry, we're getting to funny in a few seconds.
what? You're gonna fucking put me on blast about what? You don't know shit. Like, what gives you the right to talk shit?
I love Nate. I mean, I love Connor. But Nate and Connor, it takes two guys to make a great fight. And bloody hell, does Nate bring the heat.
If we're working together, when I'll beat your ass for real, you know? Like, don't even.
I don't know, he doesn't like Connor, but, he's starting to flip and tell the truth. And you might say he's the same as the boxers, being biased towards MMA. But I think he's just getting pissed off at all this shit the boxers are talking.
Even speak if I don't know. That's my thoughts. If I was him, I'll go down that gym and whoop that guy's ass. I'd box him in the ring, whoop his ass, and then throw him down at the end. Well, Mayweather is the best boxer that there is at winning fights. The amateur boxing style he's got. Not that he's not good. Not that he's not doing a good job and has good, like you said, good timing and good punches and stuff, better than most people in MMA can't box. But you're gonna need a lot of work. The boxers are clowns sometimes. Now they're like, I'm never taking the MMA fighters over the boxers side too when it comes to this, but I punching and shit. But I'm like, dude, don't be talking shit because they get embarrassed. This is ridiculous. We're even talking. We're like, yeah, but we're talking real fighting now. You one-dimensional boxing fucks. This is fucking like real life shit. Like you'll get embarrassed.
All these boxers get a lot more respectful after they start hearing all this shit, we really think MMA fighters can fight, but this is a boxing match. But please don't get me in the street and beat my ass, please. Sugar Shane Mosley. Here we go. Let's see the unbiased opinion of those Sugar
Most awkward person that Floyd fought, I believe, was Maidana. And he was so awkward, he threw punches from everywhere. And Floyd was able to handle that. And a very hard puncher as well. So I think that it's going to be very, very, very hard for McConnor to do.
McConnor, come on, Shane, do your bloody homework. You'll see what homework he did do. But he only did. You got something else to say, Shane? Let's have a listen.
Give me the scenario by which Floyd loses this fight.
By the way he loses?
Yes.
Loses?
I can't even come up with a scenario. The best fight that I think is Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Senior. Wow, that's insightful. I think he's got shares in Bump Fights. He's starting a new channel. Bump Fights, The Return with Shane Mosley.
And McGregor.
Wait. Floyd Mayweather Sr. is like 61 years old.
He's 64 years old.
64 years old.
Now that's a fight. That's a good fight where I don't know who's gonna win. And I slightly picked Floyd Mayweather Sr.
He picks Floyd. You see, that's what we're working with here.
Does it bother you at all that this fight has overshadowed the Triple G fight?
It doesn't bother me. I think that, it's bringing the UFC fans closer to boxing so they can understand. It's too...
What the fuck was that? We just had a little mic problem, lad. Let's get back to the club.
Different sports. It's kind of like... I look at my analogy as like the long distance runner run against the sprinter.
Yeah, good analogy. Egypt.
The long distance runner is going to beat the sprinter in the long distance run, but the sprinter is going to definitely beat the long distance runner in the sprint. It's two different fields, two different sports.
Yeah, MMA fighters never do boxing, Boxing's got nothing to do with MMA. Yeah, he's done his homework, Cliff Notes. Didn't read the book, but hey, he had the breech version.
It just...
What is Cliff Notes?
According to Wikipedia, Cliff's Notes, formerly Cliff's Notes, originally Cliff's Notes and often, erroneously, Cliff Notes are a series of student study guides available primarily in the United States.
Thank you. Okay, now let's see the Cliff Notes that our sugar Shane got.
And with James Toney and Randy Couture, where James Toney chose to fight Randy Couture at his game and trying to wrestle and all that stuff. He got choked out pretty quick.
Yeah, he chose to fight him without training, and he thought, oh, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out because I'm a boxer. You know, I don't think Conor's got that mindset, do you?
But I seen James Toney see the opportunity to catch Randy Couture.
Yeah, old James Toney, over the hill James Toney. Conor's in his prime, my friend.
With the punch, which would probably flatten him. Easy. But he chose to fight.
See, he still thinks James Toney could have beat him if he just tried to box.
Fight Randy Couture's way, and he lost. Conor McGregor is choosing to fight Floyd Mayweather's way of boxing, and he's most likely going to.
And now we get to the jewel in the crown. My fellow countryman, Chris Van Heerden. And I think that's his boyfriend next to him, I'm not sure. But let's see how much infamy he got from releasing his little clip to the world where his ass got beat by Conor, when it was actually a sparring session. And Conor didn't take it that seriously. It wasn't a Paulie Malignaggi flippin' situation. But here we go. Let's see what old Chris has got to say.
A little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger than he used to come in at 146. And with 8-ounce gloves, we might see a knockout.
It benefits Floyd, in my opinion, completely, because I don't think Conor McGregor is going to land a punch on Floyd Mayweather. So the only person who's gonna, from my thoughts, the only person who's gonna be landing is Floyd Mayweather. And
yeah, another 0% of there.
if he's the only one landing, 8-ounce gloves favors the guy who's the one actually hitting.
Something very interesting that came up that I've heard Floyd actually said. They asked him about would Conor McGregor be able to land on
Look at his wife beat her. I hope Chris isn't the wife.
him, and he said yes. I promise you Conor McGregor is going to land on me. The reason why is he said, I am telling you all right now that I am not running away from Conor. I'm going to pursue this fight. I'm going to go head on with him. So I'm going to get hit a little bit, but I'm stopping him. So that was kind of a big surprise to me.
Did you find that interesting? Why is that?
Because we all know Mayweather is a defensive fighter, and then he makes you miss.
Yeah, we all know he's gonna run, boot. He's gonna run, you know. He's so scared he's gonna run. Floyd, you can run, but you cannot hide.
Look bad and he'll counter you, and you make you pay for making you miss, and he'll beat you up that way. But this time he said, you know what, I'm not running. I'm gonna go head on with him.
He's gonna go head on.
If Conor McGregor catches Floyd Mayweather, it's got to mean one of two things. Either Floyd made a mistake, which probably won't happen, or two, Conor
0%. How can you make a mistake?
McGregor set such a nice trap that Floyd has never seen before, and Floyd just walks into some trap that a guy who has 0 boxing fights set for him. I don't see Floyd falling into some novice trap.
These boxers are so shit scared this is gonna happen, aren't they?
Or, I mean, I'm not, look, I like Conor McGregor.
What the hell is that flippin' beep going off in the background? There's nobody fighting.
I'm not saying, but based on facts alone that he's 0-0, let's be real. He's not going to set a trap for one of the greatest fighters of all time, the greatest of our generation, to fall into, in my opinion.
Chris, what did you guys both make of the Paulie situation? Him leaving camp, the whole sparring thing.
I expected it. To be honest.
Why?
Because I expected his ass to get beat. Because I felt Conor's power. Yes, I did. White bread, brown bread, and he hit me right in the head.
Because of what happened with me. The way Conor and his team got to me by releasing footage.
Yeah, boot. I released it first. I mean second. I released it second, boot.
After we said no footage is allowed to be released, and then I released it. Proof, and it's been done to me, and they edited footage, and it's been done to me after being very nice to me in my face. So when
Don't worry, we'll see what he said right after the sparring happened. We'll see what he said later.
Paulie stepped into it, knowing the beef between Paulie and Connor that's been going on just before the sparring, I knew.
Yeah, so Paulie knew the beef, so he should have expected Connor to be a bit serious when he stepped in there, shouldn't he?
I knew. I was like, you know what? This stuff is going to happen all over again. But I think Connor and them will learn from the mistake they made with me. Is I had footage as well. And I spoke to Paulie, and that's exactly it. Paulie wasn't allowed any cameras or any cameramen or anything in there, so they knew that Paulie doesn't have any footage. And I you know what? I like Conor. I mean, when it comes to the UFC, I'm really a Conor McGregor fan. But I.
Are you? Yeah, you're so much of a fan. You used to flip and use these tail coach to ride yourself all up the TMZ train. Yep, that's what happened.
I expect.
For me, Paulie, if you're watching this, you know we're boys, you know I love you, but bro, you should have known. You should have known that was gonna come. They made you spar.
Okay, let's see what he says.
That Paulie doesn't have any footage, and I you know what? I like Conor. I mean, when it comes to the UFC, I'm really a Conor McGregor fan, but I expect it. I expect it.
For me, Paulie, if you're watching this, you know we're boys, you know I love you, but bro, you should have known.
Yeah, Paulie, you should have got that CGI expert in there.
You should have known that was gonna come. They made you spar 12 rounds, and look, those shots, of course you can land a shot on a guy who's out of shape.
Yeah, Conor got lucky, he's out of shape.
In the 9th, 10th round, like that. You know what I'm saying? When a guy's fatigued and he's tired and he's big and he's overweight, you're not in it. You should have known. When you accepted the fact that you're gonna spar Conor and you know he's getting ready for the biggest fight of his life, bro, you should have been in shape too, because you knew they were gonna fucking film that for sure, and they were gonna release footage without a doubt. That was a very, very kind of easy trap to see, bro. You know, like.
It's not a trap, it's an ass whipping, like I said.
You know, you should have known that, and you should have been in really good shape if you were gonna go do that, because they're gonna try to embarrass you for what you said before.
Yeah, he didn't get embarrassed with that CGI, you know. It was flipping Marvel Avengers. That's why he got beat up. Really good stuntman in that video.
And I don't doubt that you outboxed him easy for the first 8, 9, 10 rounds.
Yeah, they didn't show those rounds though.
But when you're out of shape and you're tired, a novice can hit anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're making excuses at all.
Could hit you. Anyone could hit you.
There we go. Let's go a bit deeper into this whole Van Heerden situation. I didn't want to give him a lot of airtime, but it really pisses me off. Let's see what the dickwads go.
From Connor's side, he said, we released footage. Right. I didn't release footage. You know, the gym owners released footage. I phoned the gym owners. They said Connor gave them the thumbs up. I was in a space where I didn't know what to do. A few weeks later, Connor releases on Mac Live edited footage, and I still didn't do anything. And that's when I counterattacked with the real unedited footage. Right. After Conor McGregor released edited footage on the Mac Live.
Don't worry, I'll sort this out. Just give me a minute.
Then I had no choice. I was advised for my own good and for my career to release the unedited footage and let people know that, you know what, this wasn't one-sided. Mm-hmm. And I heard Connor's interview and he said he smacked me around. You know, Julian was there. My coach was there.
Julian, what did you say?
Okay. Well, let me explain something real quick. I wasn't there on the day that was filmed. That was the second day they boxed. The first day they boxed at the other boxing burn in Santa Monica.
And I wasn't there.
The second time, if anyone who knows anything about boxing and sparring, the second time you box someone, usually if there wasn't too much bad blood after the first time, it's usually a little bit calmer. It's usually like, oh, you guys are kind of like, oh yeah, what's up? You know, how you doing? Like, you guys have met each other. But every time it's the first time you guys box, it's like there's heat because it's like, yeah, I mean, you want to know.
Sexual tension.
Who's the alpha.
I'm the alpha, and you're my biatch.
And let me tell you, the first day, it was very, very obvious who the alpha was in the boxing ring.
We cut his nose.
Corner.
He cut him I remember in the first round, he came to me in the corner and he looked at me, he smiled, and I smiled back at him. And I nodded.
I know. Hey, it's early days in a relationship, you know. Those little looks, little, I love you, Mr. Chris. Thank you, coach.
Like, yeah, keep doing your thing. Second round, he cut him over the nose, and he came back in the corner, and I swear on my life, I told him, all right, tone it down, help him. I swear on everything I love.
But already right there, we established that I am the better boxer. Better boxer.
Yep, you're the better boxer.
Now let's just chill out.
Chill it out.
Yeah.
And then like I said, Connor was very, very nice to me. I was very, very nice to Connor.
Yes, because this was a sparring session, not an ass whipping session.
We were friends. Honestly, we were shaking hands, hugging, and that's when we set up the second sparring session. Yeah. But now, like Julian said, by the second sparring session, things were
It's interesting why he hasn't gone back for a third sparring session after all of this happened. If he's the better boxer, he hasn't got anything to be scared about. But he hasn't gone back, has he? Very interesting.
There we go. Now we were like, okay, now we're gonna move around. That's why you saw in the second footage, my hands were dropped. I was just having fun, and they took advantage of that, and they filmed it. But I had people filming as well because something inside of my head told me after they approached me and said, "Can we film?" And I said,
"Yeah, boy. Now I'm gonna release that footage, and I'm gonna make myself a pretty penny from TNZ."
No. Something said, you know what? Just get your camera out and just film it for your own safety. And that's what we did.
Good stuff. I'm from South Africa, and I call a black speed, you see.
For 1 year, I call a spade, and I'm going to say this. We had 16-ounce gloves on, we had headgears on. I was not fazed by his power at all. I wasn't. And I've been in the ring with a lot of guys that can hit, and I've been hit harder, way harder, by guys with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on. Yep. I was not fazed, so it's difficult for me to say what his power was like because, honestly, I was not coming.
At long last, we go at his call for the fight. Let's see what he says.
Well, his counter left hand was pretty good.
That's the one you said.
It's that's his timing, his precision. Just pulls back. He did caught.
Like Floyd does
he did catch me with that maybe once or twice, but once we figured out that that's what he relies on, he didn't. Started walking him down. I'd say this fight gets stopped between round 3. I want to say between round 3 and 5.
Yep, Floyd will be on his ass.
TKO, Floyd.
That's what I said, baby. Okay, we've heard Floyd's side. Let's see what Mystic Max got to say about it.
They released first. Chris Van Heerden, that guy, shook hands. Such an honor. Really nice guy. I was like, yeah, thanks so much. We had a great.
Yeah, with dollar signs in his eyes.
Training session. I was like, oh, he's a nice guy. And then interviews start getting happened.
You know, this is the thing, right? There's a song in England that say, "I've never met a nice South African." So all these stereotypes about South Africans, he's just enforcing. That's how he pisses me off so much.
And then they go on these world tours, and he wouldn't beat nobody in the 147-pound division. I'm looking at this guy like that. I'm like, wait, what? What kind of shit is that for him to say? He's just been saying it was an honor, and then there's a mad interview.
Concussion, Connor. He had a concussion. That's why, you know.
Go now.
Okay, and here we've got Tony Jeffries from Sunderland saying what the hell really happened in the gym. Let's have a little listen to see if it, connects up with what Van Heerden's got to say. If it all tallies up. Tally-ho!
On the phone to me all the time. Can we have some of this footage? Can we have some of the footage in your gym? I was like, not a fucking chance.
No, yeah.
Not a chance. And then I was talking to Connor's manager, Ari, and I said, mate, we've got TMZ, people in England, everyone wanting some footage of the sparring. He went, well, if you've got any, give them it. He says, but don't give them directly. Put it on your social media.
Yeah,
So we put it on boxing, a clip of them sparring on Boxing Burn.
And here's a real reason why Fanny didn't release that footage. He wanted those dollars, yo.
He's getting great publicity, but
Is he
complete. Well,
yeah, I mean, yeah, he's getting more publicity.
He's getting publicity, but he's right here on TMZ.
How would any other boxer get on TMZ?
But
yeah, how the fuck? I'll ask you.
That's short-term gain. That's only short-term gain. Long-term, he screwed himself out of ever doing any sparring with Conor. And
yeah, there's two reasons. First thing, Conor wouldn't because he's a dick, and second thing, I think he's scared shitless.
Yeah.
I think you.
Now let's get a few final words from Van Heeren. And this is actually what happened straight after the sparring session. So let's see what he had to say.
Great. Conor McGregor, possibly the biggest name active fighter in the world right now, and nothing but respect. For me to get in a ring, just a kid from South Africa, to be able to get in a ring with the name Conor McGregor, I saw the opportunity and I grabbed it with both hands. Unbelievable.
What did they say back home?
Oh, it's still going on, it's still going crazy because I believe it was on TMZ and it's all over the world, and people back home is just so inspired, so happy for me. And
so happy. They're so happy for me, man. Ek van Suid-Afrika boet. I'm so happy.
Happy to know that I'm South African.
What did he say to you after the sparring?
No,
good work, thank you.
Good work. First thing he said is you can see that I've got a lot of experience in the boxing world. Very humble human being. I've got so much respect for him. Really surprised me.
So much respect, I talk a lot of shit.
Conor McGregor knows how to let his hands go. Guy's not...
He does he? I thought he said he can't box. 0%.
He's not bad. He knows what he's doing in there. He's comfortable being in the ring. And don't underestimate him because Conor will beat a lot of fighters up.
Okay, that was the last clip of flipping. There's hundreds of other ones out there. That's a few I spoke about. And if you like this video, please subscribe and press that like button. And to take us out is Mick Constantine with the smooth vibes of Conor's gonna fuck you up.
Kid from Dublin with more than a dream. He knew one day he'd be the king of the UFC. Oh, with a group of fighting Irish not to be pushed over. Not here to take part, they were here to take over. From the start, John Kavanagh by his side. Whoever thought they'd be known worldwide after 60 G's, baby, and a contract to sign, leaving his whole life and the social welfare behind. And after 2 years came the featherweight champion of the world, and Conor said he'd make him look like a little girl. It only took 10 seconds to show his talk wasn't cheap as he connected with the left and put Aldo to sleep. There's only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk sin Mayweather, you're old and you're small, and the truth is that you'll do fake all, cause precision beats power and time beats speed. Why have you got a skill back fight you can't even read? There's only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish